Hey, this is David McCree, CPA, the nonprofit tax guy. And today I want to tell you about a course that I have created for organizations that have lost their tax-exempt status because they didn't file their Form 990 for 3 consecutive years. If you're I'm assuming that you're probably in that position because you're watching this video. And this video tells you what you need to know. Maybe you've talked to a CPA or 2 CPAs who have told you one thing. Maybe you've called the IRS and they've told you something different. Maybe they've said something you don't really understand what they told you. So you have a lot of questions. Well, this course will answer all of the important questions for most organizations. Okay. I have it here on the screen now. This is my website that has my course where you access it. The address is nonprofittaxhelp.podia.com. That's PODIA.com. I'll enlarge that on the screen so you can have a look at that. Let's go have a look at the course. So we just scroll down and say View Course. This is primarily a video course. It also has an instruction manual and some other files available. You'll see I have a video here, sort of a sales video explaining what's in the course and why it's available. Who is this for? This is for nonprofit officers and directors, for founders, for volunteers, for bookkeepers, for CPAs, for enrolled agents, anybody that is put in a position where they need to figure out how to help the organization. Okay. What's in the course? Well, like I said, it answers a lot of questions for you and helps you map your way through the course and tells you exactly what to do. It doesn't tell you how to prepare Form 1023 or 1024. That's not what this course is about. It tells you everything, all the processes that you need to go through to get to having your tax-exempt status reinstated. So what kind of questions does it answer? What if you didn't get a revocation letter from the IRS? What if you never applied for tax-exempt status? Should you call the IRS? If you do, what should you say? What if you think the IRS made a mistake and revoked your status in error? Do you need to go back and file returns for every year? Are you going to have to pay penalties for all those delinquent years? What does the IRS mean by showing reasonable cause for not filing returns? Do you have reasonable cause? What if you can't show reasonable cause? What do you do then? This course answers those questions. Now let's have a look and what's in the course. There's 17 videos and there's 9 files, PDF or Word files. I have an instruction manual that's about 37 pages, so you don't have to spend a whole lifetime reading the thing. I have a decision flowchart that helps you get the big picture of where you start from and where you end up and how you get there. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the table of contents. I have a preview available here, so you can view what's in the instruction manual without actually purchasing anything. So let's just go ahead. Okay, so we can download. It's a PDF file, and we're going to say Open in Adobe Acrobat Reader, and here it is. So here's the table of contents, the authority for revocation, an overview of the process, the flow chart, important terms, evaluating your situation. This is important. How do you evaluate your situation? Understanding tax exemption and revocation basics. A lot of people ask me, well, I never applied for tax exempt status. How can I possibly be revoked? Okay. I never got a notice from the IRS. How can I be revoked? Talk about public charities versus private foundations. What if the organization never filed for recognition? Do you have a determination letter? Did the IRS make a mistake? This tells you about how to determine whether the IRS made a mistake and revoked your status in error. Talks about how to contact the IRS. Talks about the validity of a third-year extension. Calling the IRS for advice. Preparing for the reinstatement process, the different procedures that you need to follow if you didn't receive a revocation letter versus if you did, and what type of return was the organization eligible to file. You have to determine whether you actually have to go back and file returns. Talks about definition of gross receipts, your eligibility to file the 990EZ, whether or not you have to decide, do you need retroactive reinstatement or is postmark date reinstatement good enough for you? Let's see, should you use Form 1023EZ? Can you use it? It talks in detail about Revenue Procedure 2014-11. Now, this can be a difficult revenue procedure to understand. You think you understand it sometimes, but you really don't, because they use a lot of terminology, which I go over. And then, of course, it talks about establishing reasonable cause. How do you establish reasonable cause? And that's the manual. So let's go back and have a look at the rest of the content in the course. So now I have the videos. I do a walkthrough of the flowchart. Then I do a reinstatement process overview. Talk about the basics of revocation, words and terms you need to know, the effects of revocation on operations, how was the revocation discovered, does the organization have a determination letter, was a revocation letter received, and is the organization on the revoked list? I show you how to find that out. Did the IRS make a mistake? How do you fix the mistake if they did? I introduce the Revenue Procedure 2014-11, very important. Talk about the streamlined procedure. Talk about Section 5 procedures, Section 6 and Section 7 procedures, and what you have to do to, which one of those applies to you. How do you decide which one of those applies to you? Talk about the reasonable cause explanation. And finally, I do a case study in showing reasonable cause. Very instructive. Okay, and I have example letters here. Okay, I have a case study on reasonable cause letter for non-filing. This is an MS Word document. I have an example letter where the organization was revoked by mistake. I actually have two of those. Okay, so those would be very helpful to you if you were revoked in error. Then I have sample tax compliance policy documents. I show you how to adopt a tax compliance policy. Sometimes, and I'm giving you a really big tip here, sometimes that is very helpful in showing reasonable cause. Okay, because preventing this from happening again is very important, and the IRS wants to know what you're doing to prevent this from happening again. So that's the course. Frequently asked questions: will it teach me to prepare Form 1023 or 1024? No, that'll be a separate course at some point, but it will teach you to prepare the reasonable cause statement. Okay, that's the important thing. Will taking this course guarantee that the IRS will grant retroactive reinstatement? No, absolutely not. I don't have any control over the IRS, and I certainly don't know what your particular facts and circumstances are. But taking this course gives you a much better chance of being successful. If you still have questions after you take the course, or while you're taking the course, or before you take the course, contact me at nonprofittaxguy.com/contact. You'll see a contact form there, and you can get in touch with me. So that is an overview of the course. Hope you'll have a look at it. I think you'll definitely find it useful, and certainly feel free to contact me with any questions. Thanks for listening. If you're still with me, have a great day.